Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, Warfare. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way hopefully we can collectively avoid World War III. Warfare is A24's newest film, and is already receiving a lot of buzz around the internet and movie scene. The synopsis is as follows. A surveillance mission goes wrong for a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq. Instead of talking about the 6 things that make a movie great, I'm just going to share my spoiler-free thoughts on the film. First and foremost, the entirety of this movie is based on the memories of the soldiers that were involved in this actual situation. And immediately I'm already a huge fan of that. The fact that it's a true story and the fact that the soldiers that were there are involved in the making of the film wins some pretty big points to me. I also have all the love, respect, and admiration in the world for all of our soldiers. What they do allows me to do what I do. And now to discuss this film. What these soldiers did over there is incredible, and nothing that I say in this review discounts that. As a film, though, there wasn't a whole lot here. These soldiers take up position in a house in Iraq and are surveilling a certain area looking for intel. They are sniffed out, however, and as they try to exfil, all hell breaks loose. The first 10 to 15 minutes of this movie I thought were fantastic. It really captured the dichotomy of brotherhood and entertainment and laughter that the soldiers were having at the beginning, how high the stakes were not even 5 minutes later, and the brotherhood that you develop in life or death situations, but you're also still a human being that does funny things. Everything after that, though, is literally watching these soldiers inside of a building for the entire movie. Whether they're just looking for intel and surveilling, or they're injured and trying to survive, you are confined to this building for 90% of the film, and not a lot happens. And I just want to say really quick that this feels weird to even talk about because this is a real life military situation that happened, but I'm assessing the entertainment value of a movie based on that situation. All that I can say is that it felt like a real snapshot of war. I imagine that sometimes war feels plotless, like you're literally sitting and sweating in a building for hours on end with nothing going on. And I think this movie does a great job of capturing a snapshot of that, but as far as what we're watching as an audience, not much of anything happens. So if you're wanting to go into this movie thinking it's going to be comparable to movies like Saving Private Ryan or Lone Survivor, you're not going to have a similar experience to that. But if you're wanting a realistic snapshot of what war can look like, this is an accurate depiction of that. So you just have to ask yourself the question, why do you want to go see this movie? I would have loved to see the characters developed more because you know nothing about them going in, and by the end of the movie, you still don't know much about any of them. The fact that this movie is just over an hour and a half long, it feels well over 2 hours because you're literally watching people sit in a room. There's a lot of profanity, there's a couple moments of extreme blood and gore that's very graphic. There's some sensuality right at the beginning of the movie, and there is a non-sexual situation of male nudity that I'm sure actually happened, but as far as its relevance to the movie and why would you include that, questionable. And even with all those conflicting thoughts and opinions about this movie and what's actually going on, I have to give this film a rating, which honestly is really hard to do. I feel like this may be too generous for this movie, but I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. There's a lot of buildup in this movie for not anything to happen, but it is a story of a very realistic snapshot of war. Is it the best war movie that's based on a true story that I've ever seen? Absolutely not. Should it have been made into a movie? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like a journalist could have written an article about this story and that would have sufficed fine, but it wouldn't have the attention that it has now. So if you enjoy watching war movies that are true stories, you might enjoy watching Warfare in theaters. But outside of that, I don't think anyone would have any interest in this movie. It has a pretty limited demographic, all things considered. I think most people can pass on this movie and be just fine. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Warfare, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.